My dad fell asleep at work today. They didn't fire him, but they fired a girl for the same thing a few months ago. So he texted her and told her to sue them, and then the dad took his own photo to help the lawsuit. Hey everyone, Noble Xenon here, and welcome back to some more r/ThatHappened, the truest stories on Reddit. Let's get started. So, this next one was a comment on a video titled TikTok Gym Girls Are Getting Out of Control. My local gym recently put a dress code in place and banned phones and cameras, loose-fitting gym pants and loose-fitting t-shirt. Not one man complained, all the women complained, and most of them canceled their memberships. At the same time, men's membership numbers skyrocketed over 100%. This would have been a lot more believable if you stopped after the second sentence. 2 p.m. on a Tuesday in Austin, work from home culture here is strong, shows a bunch of people tanning, and the reply, at my hedge fund I pay an analyst to walk around parks in Austin, San Francisco, and New York, and ask these people who are tanning at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday where they work. We then short the stock. We're up 728% this year. Oh yes, a billionaire strategy right here. For this next one, we got a tough guy over here. Back in high school, I actually beated up a guy for harming my friend to the point of death. He was like, please, spare me, have mercy on me, and my reply was with a grab of his t-shirt. Mercy? Mercy? What are you talking about? The punches I gave you in the face is not far enough from the pain you gave to my friend. So I grabbed him up and threw him straight into the school lockers, knocking him out. This post just screams badly written fiction. You make it seem so dramatic. Come on now. And now on the topic of students not doing any of their work, my high school physics teacher did this in his own high school physics class. His teacher told him, if you can prove to me you understand everything we've covered this year by Monday, the last day of school, I'll give you an A. Otherwise, you're getting an F. Better you've not turned in any more all year. He spent the whole weekend building a Rube Goldberg machine that spanned the entire classroom, used every piece of equipment the lab closet had to offer, and demonstrated every single principle they covered to exact specifications. We got ourselves a genius over here. Screw it, give them a physics degree right now. I don't care the dude's still in high school. When the teacher came in on Monday morning and turns on the light, the machine activated, weights dropped, levers swung, catapults launched at targets, an airplane flew across the room, and the lights were turned back off. He handed the teacher a thick report folder with the plans and calculations, and he got his A. By the way, he forgot the part where the entire school clapped. And I saw this one on a reel. I had something like this happen once. These guys ran up and put a gun to my head and said, "Give me your money." At that point, I started laughing and said, "You picked the wrong guy to rob the guy," pulls the hammer on the pistol back, put it to my head and says, "Why is that? 'Cause I have $1, here you go." Laughing emoji. What? Your grammar makes no sense. At that exact moment, a fire truck was driving by and turned on his siren. The guys just about to poop their pants, and right there in a car pulled up and stopped right next to us, and off they went running with my $1. And then the $1 clapped. And now, pretty sure that's a lawsuit. One time when my plane landed, the pilot made the usual request for everyone to please remain seated until we reached the gate. Most people ignored his request and stood up. Then he slammed on the brakes and they all flew forward and slammed into each other. It was fabulous. Almost 35,000 people liked that. No pilot with any sense of professionalism would do such a thing. This next one was totally written by a woman, 100%. How can I go back to my husband? I divorced my husband out of group influence last year in 2023. I started working as a nurse, and my friends told me that I could do without a man, so I got motivated by my friends and left my husband. As I'm talking to you, 2 of my friends who advised me to leave my marriage got married recently. I feel lonely and I cannot find another man. So far, I've dated 5 men, and they just sleep with me and go. These men, despite dating me, they never respected me, owing to the fact that I'm not that attractive cause I'm in my 30s. Ah yes, that magical wall that appears as soon as you hit 30. 30. One of my boyfriend got married to a young girl recently, leaving me heartbroken. A young girl? Hold on, wait a minute. We might need to call the FBI on this one. I'm tired and I need to be in my house with my loving husband. My actions were out of immaturity and wrong advice from evil friends. I realize my mistakes. How can I convince him to allow me back? How can I persuade my husband? Advise me, please. Here's some advice. Stop making shit up. And now a totally true encounter that validates my bigotry. Oh, here we go. Ask them what the reason is. Why would you think we can read their minds? It's funny, I actually did the other day. This young Asian man literally pushed past me to get on the bus. I was in front of him in line, and I asked him why they all do it. He says it's in the culture, and they aren't raised to respect elders and women in the same way we are. Yeah, just nonchalantly shits on himself and all the men in his culture. He totally said that. r/ThatHappened, and here you are. And OP says, one of my old Chinese college professors once told me that elders are so respected there that it's considered very polite to ask an elderly person's age, even women. The older they are, the better they feel telling you, since living a long life is a great achievement. So I don't know what this dude was on about. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, then why not like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell? And now, because when I break in houses, I always remember to leave a Bible behind. I don't want no hate on this post, but someone came into my house last night through my back door and ransacked my dining room, went through my purse and all my private papers, then left his Quran on my table, while I was sleeping less than 50 feet away. Yes, I left my back door unlocked, but that didn't give anyone the right to come into my home and violate me like that. I made a police report. Nothing was taken, but the police took the Bible. Of course, my back door will always be locked, but it was only unlocked because I forgot and was going to let the dog out one more time but fell asleep. She was asleep next to me and is older and going deaf. So is it the Quran or is it the Bible? They're two different religious texts from two different religions. If you're gonna make up a story, at least make sure the details add up. And now a firefighter hero drives an ambulance at 120 miles an hour to save a life. Wow. Been there. I was asked to drive the ambo because both medics needed to work on the dude that just cut his femoral artery with a chainsaw. They told me to get there as fast as possible. I can tell you how fast I drove as the speedo only went to 85. But I got us there. When we walked out, I got arrested for reckless driving by a state trooper. He said I was going over 120 miles an hour in a 35 zone. The guy lived. Barely. They were doing CPR when we arrived. When the judge asked why I was driving so fast, I told him it was literally a case of life and death. I drove at the speed that was necessary to facilitate saving that man's life, and I would do it again. I was found not guilty and had my record expunged, but not before I was fired and told I would never be able to be a firefighter again in the whole state. I am damn proud of what I did. Screw them. Outlander 56 says, as a former ambulance driver, I can categorically call BS on this little tale. That's because your crappy ambulance didn't have rocket boosters like our brave firefighters. And DMNMC says, in true fiction style, this just got more and more fantastical as it went along. You can tell he was playing the movie of this in his head. It's a perfect script. Everyday guy gets pulled into a big situation and comes out on top. Then the dip as the baddies take control before our hero, against all odds, emerges triumphant in the end. And credits roll. Roll the credits! Actually, hold on, not yet. We're not even 9 minutes in. My wife was sleeping next to me and suddenly I got a Facebook notification. A woman asked me to add her. So I added her. I accepted the friend request and sent a message asking, do we know each other? She replied, I heard you got married, but I still love you. She was a friend from way back. She was looking very beautiful in the pic. I closed the chat and looked at my wife. She was sleeping soundly after her tiring day at work. Looking at her, I was thinking about how she feels so secure that she can sleep so comfortably in a brand new home with me. She's away from her parents' house, where she spent 24 years surrounded by her family. When she was upset or sad, her mother was there so she could cry on her lap. Her sister or brother would tell her jokes and make her laugh. Her dad would come home and bring her everything she liked, and still, she trusted me so much. All these thoughts just crossed my mind, so I grabbed the phone and pressed block. I turned to her and slept by her side. I'm a man, not a boy. I promised to be faithful to her, and so it will be. I will fight forever to be a man who doesn't cheat on his wife and doesn't destroy a family. True story. I mean, it says true story right there, so it must be true. And now obvious things are obvious. My dog is smarter than your second grader. Luna moved these toys around until she marked the spot where she naps. I'm pretty sure a second grader could tell you where they sleep. And how do we know you're not the one who arranged those bones like that? And now advice, if you're gonna make a fake text thread, don't type the same way on both sides. At least try to make it a little different. I'm livid. So this teacher decided that because Jacob family was fortunate, he would be able to afford 24 pizzas for the school event. Not only that, when questioning her about the quantity of pizza that had to be purchased, she stated she thought he could donate to administration. Then she took away Jacob's invitation because he couldn't afford. This lady is losing her mind. Do y'all feel like it's wrong for not buying the pizzas, or is she wrong for volunteering? No, you are wrong for making fake texts. Hey Miss T, school told me to reach out to you because you had some questions. Yes, why does Jacob have to bring pizza for everyone? You have on his paper 24 pizzas, yet it's only 10 children in the class, and besides others' names, it has napkins, plates, etc. Why couldn't they buy pizza too? That just seems like such a comically ridiculous request. No wonder people have a hard time believing this. Well, Jacob family is more fortunate than everyone else. The teachers and administrators have to eat too. Though you'd be more than willing to donate for staff as well since you make so much. Excuse me? Absolutely not. We aren't as fortunate as we used to be in teachers. Are you kidding me? Why volunteer me? I'm struggling. Well, if Jacob can't distribute his cut-on pizza, he cannot attend the party. We're asking all parents who can't afford to please leave children at home that day so they won't be upset. Okay, he will not be there and he will have his own party, and the principal and I need to have talk. I'll be out there to talk to you too. The answer will not change. He won't be attending if you can't provide his necessities for the party and you can't do nothing about it. Yeah, that did not happen. Not at all. Atrocious grammar too. And now the stolen credit card clapped. I found some a-hole's wallet once and contacted him via Facebook. His response was an immediate "Great, just drop it off at this address." Pure audacity. Took a look through the wallet and noticed that it had several credit cards that were not his, so I dropped it off to the police station and messaged him that's where he could find it. Dude was arrested a couple weeks later for credit card fraud. Thankfully, he has no idea who I was because it was back in the day before Facebook made you use your real name. A little gratitude and less entitlement, and I probably would have never bothered looking further than his ID. This next one started racing because he was so cool. So I just pulled up to a stoplight and dude was playing push-ups and I was playing Euphoria, and we just looked at each other and started laughing. Then the light turned green and we started low-key racing. I won, laughing emoji. Probably because the other person was not aware of your so-called race. And now tales from Sephora found underneath a video about Sephora kids. I'm 14 and look 10. One time this mom with a daughter who looked about 6 came up to me and said, "Why don't you kids clean up after yourself? You 10-year-olds should be banned." I literally laughed and looked at her child and said, 1, I'm 14. 2, your daughter is like 6. And she went and got an employee and said I was playing with testers when I literally swatched a drop of flawless filter on my hand. And I told the employee and she believed me, and the woman got kicked out for lying. And Karate Kid 1984 says, "Pretty similar thing happened to me. I'm 43, but I look like a newborn baby." Anyways, I was shopping by myself at GameStop, and a lady came in and said to me, "Hello baby, where are your parents?" To which I yelled, "Ma'am, I'll have you know I pay taxes and have a 401k. Then, me and an employee had a beer and they arrested the lady. She got 12 years. Oh, you mean an employee? Yeah, an employee. And now the police just believed a drunk person that they were held hostage by a car thief and they went along with it? I don't buy it. smashed me, drove around West Auckland speeding while I'm trying to jump out of the car. Then police saw us, chased us, he stopped, ran, and I made the most bullshit story ever and said a random fella stole my car, held me hostage, I don't know who he was, and ended up back in bed with him once I was let out of the cells, laughing emoji. Bro, how friggin' pathetic of me, LMAO. With zero punctuation at all. You're giving people on Reddit strokes. And now, of course, NFT bros would make up stories like this. An airport gate agent noticed my Bored Ape Yacht Club watch face. She said, "Sir, the Bored Ape Yacht Club floor is pumping. Let's get you up in first class." Once aboard, spelled A-B-O-R-E-D, a stewardess saw my Mutant Ape Yacht Club shirt. She brought me a glass of champagne, winked, and said mutants are insane. Common Ape Travel Day. Shh. And then every single person on the plane bought an NFT. Oh, the fantasies these people make up for themselves. And NFT bros respond, "Not surprised at all, fire emoji. They'll have red carpets and special boarding for us soon, fam. No, you might not even be able to afford to fly economy soon enough." And now, yes, let's make ourselves the main character of your friend's wedding. Because why not make someone else's special day all about you? One time I was at a friend's wedding in a foreign place. We had a DJ playing our white girl party music when all of a sudden, I saw these two girls walk up to the wedding guest book and start writing stuff. Once they walked away, I had looked over and they had written down, "Your DJ sucks." I couldn't believe the audacity of these two, and as they were giggling running out, I followed them. Once I caught up to them, my words just flew out of my mouth. That DJ is my future husband, something neither of you ladies will ever have with that attitude of yours. The look on their faces was priceless. They apologized and went back in and said sorry to the bride. Lesson learned, when it comes to my friends, I don't play. Watch out, don't mess with this person's friends. Also, a foreign place, how specific. And now nobody asked, but okay. It is friggin' incredible how many men have confessed to me in the last year how much they regret the way they treated me, and how they wish they seriously dated me when they had the chance. Oh yes, because you're such a catch. Yes, I suppose 0 men having said that is incredible to her. We go to TikTok for this next one. I haven't taken off the ring since. Literally isn't wearing the ring in the TikTok. Thinking about the guy I met in a random town in Italy, and we both left our families and explored the city together and went on romantic dates until we both left the city, and he got me a ring that said, "Whenever you see this, remember me," and we vowed to never reach out because it would be more tragic that way. Oh, I'm sobbing. I mean, it's TikTok, what do you expect? This next one was cross-posted from r/anti-work. I have found a software error at the company I work for that is costing them $18 million a year, but I haven't told them because they told me no when I asked for a raise. And we go to Twitter for this next one. We got ourselves a girl boss here. Oh, sorry, Elon. X, as you want everyone to call it. I take out both of my laptops at airport security. Random guy scoffs. "What do you need 2 laptops for?" Me. "Well, one is for my astrophysics work and one is for my artificial intelligence work. See how intelligent I am? I'm such a genius. Hashtag priceless. Hashtag women in STEM. Hashtag women in tech. Hashtag AI. I'm not sure what this is doing to promote women in STEM. It sounds more like you're bragging about your work. And now sure they did, buddy, sure. Doctors are some of the stupidest and laziest people I've met. They use their patients to get rich, while they do absolutely nothing for their sick patients. They're doctors who've laughed in my face, while I starved to death paralyzed in front of them. Well, you didn't die. And there have been other doctors who've lied to my face over test results. Like, why lie about an abnormal test result or an MRI scan? I decided several years ago to not pay any doctor bills if the doctor doesn't do their job or tells any lies. It was so funny when a doctor's office called me complaining because I didn't pay a bill from a year ago, and I tell them that their stupid doctor shouldn't have told me not to talk to them the entire time I was there for my visit. Like, why should I pay a doctor who refused to allow me to tell them why I was there? My next plan is to start telling the insurance companies to also not pay. Bro has some serious problems with doctors, like, goodness. And now I'll take things that didn't happen for 1,000, Alex. Oh wait, rest in peace, Alex Trebek, rest in peace. Is taking a girl's ability ready to walk after a good time bad? I feel like this should naturally be a no-brainer, but my girlfriend seemed a little irritated by the fact she couldn't walk with her legs shaking. Sounds like someone who needs to get off the hub. And now somehow I doubt your 5-year-old said that, but that's just me. My 5-year-old son had his first t-ball practice tonight. He came home and said this: "Mom, I have a really big game on Saturday, and I need to be brave, strong, confident." Is that how you say that word, Mom? Peaceful and calm if things don't go my team's way. I wasn't prepared for what happened next. What happened next will shock you. You won't believe it. And now a Redditor goes outside for the first time ever, uses a rubber band and sheer power to shoot a pencil into a cop's boot. I was in a courtroom and there was a waiting room and a pencil attached to a pin board with a rubber band with a paper for you to write your name on and to be called into the court. Well, when I pulled the pencil, the pin pulled out at a high speed and darted directly into the police officer's boot that was standing nearby. I was the only one that noticed for an hour or so. The officer had a pin sticking out of the very tip of his boot. When he saw it, he was looking around like, what the hell is going on? And the reply, simply r/ThatHappened. And now I thought there was a slight chance it could be real until that gravity line. One time as a kid, I forcefully shoved 2 magnets together, and these were the strong magnets my dad used in his shop to pick up missing little metal bits, and I held them really tightly in the palm of my hand. Went up to this one kid who legit said things like, "I think black cats are bad, they should be drowned," and drew crosses on the notebooks of kids if she found out they didn't go to church. I told her, "Hey, I'm a witch. If you don't stop trying to hurt animals and picking on kids, I'll use my magic to throw you into the sky." And when she dared to doubt my powers, I told her that I had 2 rocks in my hand that I could send across the playground. Then I opened my hand, the magnets shoot off in 2 different directions. We were over in a spot that was empty, so no other kids were around. Nobody got hurt. One of them stuck to a drain pipe and the other stuck to a fence. This kid screamed and ran into the office, and I guess had her mom pick her up from school, and then she wasn't there for a couple days. Finally, her mom called my house and claimed I had traumatized her daughter by performing a terrifying magic trick, and when my parents asked what I did, I just said I showed her a magnet and she flipped out. She's not gonna be happy when she finds out about gravity either. Eventually, this kid came back to school and always made a point to come up to me and say, "Hey, my mom told me not to talk to you," and would just be like, "Good job, you already screwed that up." Damn, those magnets must be built different. And now, gosh darn, feminism ruining everything. I actually got in trouble twice for asking 2 different women if they needed help carrying something I noticed them struggling with. I ended up getting temporarily suspended. Nowadays, I don't offer help to women at all, regardless of any circumstances. Ugh, these females. There might be something you're not telling us here, buddy. Did you try to do something other than offer to help? And for this last one, I genuinely don't know where to start with this one, so we'll end it with this one. I go to this school, so here's how it started. Spelled H-E-A-R-S, by the way. So a furry bit a kid, and the kid that got bit got suspended. So this girl started a petition, an online one and a paper one, and a lot of kids signed it. But then, at lunch, a lot of kids were signing it, and the assistant principal grabbed the kid and threw them to the ground, spelled T-H-R-O-U-G-H, and yelled at the kid that had the papers. And they tried to take the papers, but the girl wouldn't give it to them. The night before the protest, they sent an email saying everyone who's a part of the protest will be suspended, and one of the furries threatened to bring a knife or a gun, but luckily they didn't bring it. So the school says that none of this happens and they have no proof, but the reason we have no proof is they will sit you down and make you delete it, and if you don't, you get suspended. And then 2 days later, someone / maybe a furry sent out a threat to all the teachers in administration. So you have any questions, just ask and I'll answer. Yeah, I have a question. Did this actually happen? Because for some reason I have some doubts. Maybe you should pay more attention in grammar class. So, I'd like to thank all of my channel members, especially Amethyst Phoenix, Jade Demby, Catalan Cormendi, Mike Cock, Hold Up, Nightcrawler, Stormcloud the Wolf, VicMeister1999, Zoe Horsham, and Goodnight Cheems. If you'd like to join, just click the join button below. Feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell if you enjoyed it, and feel free to comment if you've got something on your mind.